water moons feel deeply. They view emotion as a natural part of the human experience, and the emotional body is, for them, an antenna that tells them how they're doing, if they're safe, if they're on the right track. Feelings are a constant, and they tend to respond emotionally to everything that happens. All this causes the water moons to be subjective. They think in terms of their own experiences. In order for the water moons to feel secure, their emotions have to be taken seriously because they're a big deal. And treating their tender feelings as if they're silly or wrong or of no consequence isn't going to go over very well with them. The water moons reach out emotionally because emotional exchange brings everyone together, and people ought to be together. What the water moons are after is intimate connection. That is what makes them feel safe and secure. Without it, they're outcasts, not part of it anymore. And this is why they're so interested in emotional response from others. They can start to freak out if they have to deal with an unresponsive person. They'd rather see rage than nothing at all. A blank person who isn't feeling causes them concern, anxiety. Of course, this can become a problem because relying on response from others is by nature insecure. They can only get validated 100% of the time if they do it themselves. The water moons aren't known to buy into a really pragmatic idea like this one, but if they want a smoother ride in life, they must, for their own sake, embrace their emotional nature fully, because feeling to them is life. They may as well be upfront about it. Now that we know what the water moons have in common, let's look at each one individually. The moon in Cancer is imaginative and sentimental, and often eccentric because of how their emotions cycle. It's family-oriented, the marrying kind. Familial connections are everything to them. The Cancer moon is truly fulfilled when everyone they love surrounds them. The Cancer moon is one to nurture and take care of you and give you the feeling that you're family even if they haven't known you for long. This moon can have profound compassion and be very loving. It's easy for them to be a valued member of a family, but this ability to meet you on an emotional level can be expressed negatively. Remember, the crab is indirect, it walks sideways, and there's a dark side to this moon that usually takes the form of manipulations that surround them expressing their hurt over the fact that you're not doing what they want. But the healthy moon in Cancer has a great sense of humor, and to see that side of the moon is very nice because it's so sincere. But as with the other moons, this one is instinctual. It believes its needs are necessary for its survival, and it's really concerned about losing connection, the warmth and comfort of friends and family. This is a private moon, so their emotional life is usually confined to intimates. Emotional issues are really important to them, and the lesson of their lifetime is to value their own emotional nature. If they don't have their own needs for nurturing met in childhood, they must do it for themselves. They must learn to communicate their emotional needs directly and to devote themselves to their own nourishment. And that way they won't be so upset if their partner experiences a lapse or two in supporting them. The moon in Scorpio thinks about survival a lot and often feels that emotional issues are a matter of life and death. This moon may forgive, but it doesn't forget, and it is prone to revenge and destruction fantasies because it identifies with the dark side of the moon, the more shadowy aspects of emotion. They have a deep perception about the real dynamics going on in families, and it's difficult to sell this moon on a Hallmark card version of familial life. And the moon in Scorpio seems to suspend moral judgments about being tuned in to the jealousy and envy and resentment and rage and even the seductive undercurrents in the family of origin. If someone tries to sell them a cheery picture, it doesn't work, and it undercuts them because they feel nurtured when they're recognized for their depth, perception, and intensity. They'll be generous to the best of their ability as long as they see you helping yourself every step of the way. They have deep compassion for those who are trapped in darkness and struggling to pull themselves up from the muck and mire. They have very little patience for people who continue to turn down opportunities or who ask for assistance with things they can do themselves. This moon is the most self-sufficient of the zodiac because it thinks in terms of survival. And it's just better to do things for yourself and need less from others. Need makes you vulnerable. This moon also has an interest in power for the same reason. The more power you have, the more options you have. The more options, the more likely you are to survive. But it also has the water moon's need for connection. So the Scorpio moon ends up making connections, but it's very selective about them. The dream of this moon is to connect with people who understand them and appreciate them and won't hurt them or be a drain. Life is a battlefield when you get down to it, and they want to know that they're fighting alongside people who are assets in that fight. Because it is hyper-focused, an unhealthy Scorp moon can easily fall into obsessions. The healthy Scorp moon can plumb the depths of every experience. Going deep nourishes them. When they find an unflinching partner who likes this, who will stick with them as they constantly change into a better version of themselves, they can be quite committed and quite content. The moon in Pisces seeks bonds, but those don't have to be with just family or just a special trusted person. This moon is open to everyone as long as there's an empathic connection. Because this moon is extremely changeable, you find it everywhere, in every profession, in every segment of society. They don't seem to cluster. All you know is that if you see one in a chart, you're dealing with a person who needs to dream and flow and be sensitive. There's usually a reflective nature and an inner world, but it is a difficult moon. Sure, it understands the mysterious paradoxes in life, that it's in giving that we receive, in pardoning that we're pardoned, in death that we're born to eternal life. But it also has a paradoxical emotional nature, a dual set of wants. And often those things are in opposition. Maybe they want to be married and single. Maybe it's that they want a partner who's emotionally sensitive all the time and always level-headed. It doesn't go in steps toward a goal like the Earth moons do. It wouldn't want those steps anyway, because the Pisces moon always allows for that element of chance. If things are too firm, how does that lucky current float in that gives them what they dreamed of? This moon is good at floating and sees the nature of the universe as watery and impermanent. It has a vivid imagination, so it needs time and space to daydream. This moon can't be expected to always be there, always listen, always be tuned in to what's happening in front of them. The Pisces moon is ditzy. Pisces moons report that they're nagged by feelings of isolation. And it is the fear of this that makes them want the emotional bonds they seek. Isolation is also what makes them want to dissolve into an ocean of energy greater than the self. This is why the Pisces moon is so fond of alcohol, meditation, drugs, spiritual life. They'd rather drift off into a sea of existence than be an individual and alone. This moon finds security in being part of the bigger picture. It's also this openness that causes their panic and phobias to come in. The unconscious is usually active, and intuition is their number one navigation tool. Without it, they're lost. It's sad to watch this moon when it's lost its way. It becomes cynical, hopeless, and chaotic, and it doesn't know what it wants anymore. This brand of Pisces moon talks about how it has been taken advantage of, or that it has sacrificed too much on everyone else's behalf. It takes the cloak of the martyr and feels enslaved. And when they aren't enslaved, this is interesting, you'll find them voluntarily trapping themselves in a rigid ideology. You see, this moon feels haunted, and it's often the family scapegoat and the family shadow. Because it has loose boundaries, it can easily begin to carry what everyone else has tried to disown. This moon has a mystical quality and a certain innocence that comes from a unique power. That power is its understanding of redemption. The Pisces moon believes that there are moments when the slate can be wiped clean and sins can be washed away and a person can be reborn. In this knowledge, they find a great deal of safety and security. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk, the Water Moons. I'm Joy, more videos to come. If you enjoyed this video, consider donating $2 to Swan Family Charity. This organization gets medical care to poverty-stricken orphans in Afghanistan. The site, swanfamilycharity.org.